You're listening to Gamer Girls Radio, sponsored by the Pink Controller.
Oh yeah, we are back.
Welcome back for another gaming news update. It's the Big Saturday Show. Game news from the last week.
And it is a packed week, honestly.
Oh, totally packed. But first, imagine this, right? You turn on your computer, you're getting ready to fill out some, boring spreadsheets, and suddenly a viewer from your live stream physically transforms into a tiny pixel art cat that just starts walking across your actual screen.
It's completely wild.
It is. Like that boundary between playing a game and, just reality is completely disappearing right now. But before we get into the absolute madness of this week's roster, I have to remind you to like, comment, and subscribe for news and more.
Seriously, it helps the algorithm so much.
It really does. Hit those buttons. That helps us keep this massive hype train rolling. Also, if you need to upgrade your setup or you just want to look incredibly cool while gaming, I have to let you know that thepinkcontroller.com is a fantastic source for gamer merch. Go treat yourself.
Yeah, they have some really great stuff this season.
Absolutely. So here's our mission for today's rundown. You're busy, you're curious, and you want the absolute cutting edge of gaming updates. So we are tearing through 14 rapid-fire updates from the past week.
14 is a lot to get through.
I know, right? But we've got the brilliant mechanics, the juicy details, and we are delivering it all without the information overload. Are you ready? Because I am just so caffeinated and ready to go.
I'm ready. Let's just jump right in.
Okay, so we are kicking things off with, the most primal instinct of all, which is survival. Specifically, eating versus being eaten.
A classic theme.
Right. There's a new horror fishing roguelite demo from S16 Gamers that just dropped for Steam Next Fest, and it's called SNFJJW.
Such a good title for this.
It really is. Now, fishing games usually rely on a very zen loop, right? Like you cast a line, you look at the beautiful water, and you just wait. But SNFJW completely inverts that whole dopamine hit.
It really takes that relaxing mechanic and just weaponizes it against the player.
Yes. You are in this sunken post-apocalyptic world, and you are literally fishing to feed these colossal, terrifying, mechatronic creatures of the deep.
Which is terrifying.
It's no longer about, the joy of the catch. It's about paying the mob. There's a countdown timer, and if you fail, you become the bait. It completely changes how fishing feels.
It's a brilliant subversion of player expectations, honestly. The tension here, it doesn't come from a cheap jump scare.
Right. No spooky ghosts jumping out at you.
Exactly. It comes from a strict resource management consequence system.
Huh.
You only have this 9-day journey in the demo.
Only 9 days.
Yeah, just 9. The core loop is this frantic scramble to strategically upgrade your boat, your rods, and your bait. You have to meet the ever-increasing demands of these starving mechatronic beasts.
Oh man, so they just get hungrier.
They do. By the end of each day, if you haven't fed them their exact due, they consume you. The fishing mechanics themselves are engaging, but the underlying pressure of that cosmic horror timer completely recontextualizes every single thing you catch.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like a missed catch isn't just an "oh well, I'll cast again" moment.
Yeah.
It's a literal death sentence. My heart rate is already up just thinking about it.
It definitely gets the adrenaline going.
It really does. But, speaking of feeding a boost to survive, let's talk about feeling ourselves something way more comforting.
Ramen Simulator.
Yes. Ramen Simulator, just released on June 22nd. You customize your broth, your noodles, you stack the toppings, and I instantly recognized the vibe of this game. It's from the exact same development team in Bangkok that made Neko Simulator.
Yeah, that Bangkok dev team has a very specific niche.
I lost literally weeks of my life to that grilling game, just trying to get the perfect sear on digital beef,
They definitely have a signature style. They're really leaning into the shared universe of highly specific food simulation. They even launched a Steam bundle so you can grab both games together.
Oh, that is so smart.
But mechanically, they've introduced something brilliant here with their more mode.
Oh my gosh, I saw the trailer for this. You can stack over 100 types of ingredients. It completely breaks the laws of physics.
It absolutely does. You can build a literal towering mountain of toppings. It's like creating the most absurd avant-garde ramen bowl imaginable.
Just noodles stacked up to the ceiling.
Exactly. And the developers explicitly advertise that it comes with absolutely 0 calories. It removes the constraints of reality and just lets you play with food physics in a completely unrestricted sandbox.
0 calories. Finally, a game that respects my dietary choices.
It's the ultimate comfort food game.
It really is. Now, it's funny that you can lose hours to optimize the exact layering of a digital bowl of ramen because that same obsessive need to sort, organize, and layer details well, that is exactly what drives the puzzle solving in our next update.
Mini murder mysteries.
Yes, Mini Murder Mysteries. It's a cozy June 23rd release from Bunkworks for iOS, Mac, and PC. And what completely sold me on this is the mobile-specific portrait design.
It's a huge accessibility feature.
It totally is. You can literally play this one-handed on your phone while holding onto a subway pole during your morning commute.
It's a very smart user experience choice that just respects the player's time. They took 9 distinct, self-contained crime scene investigations and build a highly specific logic loop.
Because usually in mystery games, you just, click everything until it works.
Right. In a lot of mystery games, you're just clicking randomly until the game moves forward. Here, you are actively sorting through evidence and dealing with very deliberate red herrings.
It's like a reverse crossword puzzle or something. You're interviewing these innocent bystanders, but also total liars and spies, and you have to weed them out.
Precisely. The core mechanic revolves around a pool of exactly 24 deduction words.
Wait, only 24?
Yes, out of the entire case. To actually solve the whodunit, you have to pinpoint the handful of correct words out of that set to form your final conclusion.
Oh, so you really have to know what you're doing.
It forces genuine critical thinking. You can't just guess, you have to understand the underlying causality of the crime to select the right vocabulary.
I love a mechanic that actually makes me feel like a genius when I get it right,
Yeah.
But let's take that deduction gameplay and just crank the tension up to 1,000.
Hex Judge.
Hex Judge.
Yeah.
It launches July 16th, and it is a high-stakes medieval witch trial game. You are interrogating suspects who dynamically talk back to you based on village rumors.
The dynamic aspect is fascinating.
It is, but here is where my alarm bells totally went off. The game says it uses AI for the interrogation. And look, every time I see AI in an indie game, I imagine a laggy server, a massive subscription fee, and forced online DRM that completely breaks the immersion. Am I going to be waiting 30 seconds for a villager to buffer a response?
That is the exact hesitation most players have right now when they hear AI integration.
Right, it's so frustrating.
But the developers of Hex Judge completely bypassed that issue. They packaged a local LLM, a large language model, directly into the game files.
Like local. Like it just runs right on my actual hard drive.
Completely local. Think of a standard cloud AI like calling a massive library across the world every time you have a question.
Yeah, that takes forever.
Exactly. It takes time, it costs money for the developers, and it requires a constant internet connection. A local LLM is like having a pocket-sized encyclopedia built directly into the game disk. It happens instantly, completely offline.
Oh, wow. That changes everything.
It generates dynamic interrogations where you catch contradictions in real time. And because of this tech, the game generates unique epilogues based on who you choose to condemn.
So it actually remembers your specific choices.
Yes. Your judgment shifts the fate of the village, and the game crafts that specific narrative outcome without ever needing to ping an external server.
That is incredible tech. We are finally getting the promise of endless dynamic dialogue without the awful, always online requirements.
It's a huge step forward for narrative games.
It really is. And, we are actually moving from reading generated text to literally reading human micro-expressions with this next one.
Ah, Wasabi.
Yeah. Wasabi is an upcoming 1990s Japanese psychological thriller from Phoenix Game Productions. You play as Detective Ryuhei Kuroshima, and you're hunting down the truth behind these gruesome murders in Nagano Prefecture.
The setting is incredibly atmospheric.
The whole thing has this gritty, dark, TV drama-style vibe. But what blows my mind is the visual fidelity.
It's built on Unreal Engine 5, which allows for incredibly photorealistic, nostalgic 1990s environments.
Feels like a real show.
But more importantly, the engine enables highly detailed facial animations, which are crucial for the core gameplay loop.
Because, if you're interrogating someone, a flat texture won't tell you if they're lying. You need to see them sweat.
Exactly. You have to read the suspect's micro-expressions.
Like what, specifically?
Like a twitch of the eye or a tightening of the jaw just to uncover cracks in their testimony. And it's not just a standard dialogue tree either. There's an actual danger mechanic.
Danger in a dialogue scene.
Yes. If you corner a suspect too aggressively, it backfires and ruins the interrogation. You have to actively manage their psychological state.
Oh, wow.
And while doing that, you use a mysterious supernatural power called Wasabi to dig into their minds and uncover their ties to this terrifying cult. The graphics aren't just for show, they are the gameplay.
I am so ready to be terrified by a 90s cult. I really am.
Oh.
But, okay, let's leave the claustrophobic, dark crime scenes of Japan for something totally different, right?
Moving out into the open.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The wide-open, sun-baked roads of a fictional South American country called Vale Rico. Road Truckers. New Beginning is coming to PC and PS5 in 2026.
This one is really ambitious.
And honestly, my favorite part of their pitch is the philosophy of being a trucker, not just a truck. Like in so many of these driving simulators, you feel like your camera is just super glued to the steering wheel.
That philosophy is exactly what sets it apart from the rest of the genre. It's a major pivot into deep RPG mechanics.
Not just driving.
No, you aren't just managing fuel and tire pressure, you are managing your character's physical health, avoiding illnesses, and physically getting out of the cab to interact with locals.
I love the idea that I can single-handedly gentrify a town through sheer haulage.
It's an incredibly rewarding gameplay loop. You start with this derelict airstrip as your base, and your specific deliveries actively restore the rundown economy of Vale Rico.
So the town actually changes based on what you do.
Exactly. Haul lumber, and you'll see faded storefronts get repaired, bring in electronics, and businesses just roar back to life. It's an immersive sim where your economic impact is visible and tangible in the game world.
That is so deeply satisfying. I can just see myself playing that for hours. But, you know, hauling cargo takes patience, and sometimes you just want to drop a literal meteor on someone's head.
A very different kind of impact.
Right. So let's talk about raw disruptive power. On June 24th, Injustice 2 Mobile added DCU Supergirl as a legendary hero, complete with her dog, Crypto.
A great addition.
It totally ties right into the massive DC Studios movie hitting theaters on June 26th. But, have to play devil's advocate here for a second.
Okay, let's hear it.
In a mobile fighting game that is already absolutely packed to the brim with overpowered gods and monsters, what is the point of adding another heavy hitter? Like, how does she actually stand out?
That's a fair question. It really comes down to how she completely disrupts the current combat meta. In a game filled with fast-paced damage dealers, a character who can stop momentum is incredibly valuable.
So she's more of a defensive tank.
Sort of. She has a passive ability called Ruthless Might that allows her heavy strikes to stun enemies. That forces opponents to play much more defensively because one heavy strike could instantly end their combo.
Oh, that is so annoying for the other player. I love it.
And her Gaze of Argo can actually stagger shielded opponents, dragging them right back into the fight. Plus, her super move, Last Daughter's Fury, hits with the literal force of a meteor.
Wow.
It's also worth noting there is a free login event running until July 6th, where you can unlock her just by playing daily.
Okay, free is my absolute favorite price. I am logging in today. Now, let's take that supersonic Kryptonian speed and apply it to, wait for it, magical fast food.
Mage food truck.
Yes. Solo developer Adam Stewart just dropped a massive free update for Mage food truck called Short Order Swamp. We are swapping out the city for the Wetfoot realm.
The setting change is great.
It is. We are fighting demo pigeons and fighting frog people. It is pure, concentrated chaos.
Mage food truck is already a great twist on the culinary deck builder genre, but the Short Order Swamp update fundamentally shifts the pacing of the entire game.
How so? Like, is it just faster?
Exactly. While the base game scenarios might focus on complex, multi-turn strategies to build the perfect dish, this Swamp update is all about rapid-fire, simple recipes.
So you just have to churn out the orders.
The mechanics force you to cook fast and deliver back-to-back to rack up massive gold multipliers. It completely changes the risk-reward calculation of your deck.
Demo pigeons do not stand a chance against my high-speed magical fry cook skills, I tell you that.
I'm sure they don't.
Now, cooking for frogs is stressful, sure, but managing a zombie wasteland while a giant wyvern attacks is just a whole new level of panic.
Resident Evil Survival Unit X Monster Hunter.
Yes. This is a massive mobile strategy crossover event happening from July 2 to July 29. Zombies and giant prehistoric monsters together at last.
It's a wildly unexpected fusion from Capcom and Joy City, but it actually works mechanically.
Wait, really? Because base building is usually so slow and methodical, and Monster Hunter is just pure, unadulterated action. How does that even work together?
That's where the mechanical friction makes it so interesting. You're taking the bleak post-apocalyptic base building of Resident Evil survival unit and injecting the cooperative nature hunting mechanics of Monster Hunter.
You're hunting monsters outside the base.
Yes. It integrates the appeal of tracking and defeating massive creatures into a game usually focused on just hoarding resources and defending against slow zombie hordes.
Oh, that sounds so chaotic.
You have to completely adapt your standard strategic systems and team up with other players for these massive, limited-time creature encounters. It really shakes up the stagnant base-building routines.
I cannot wait to see a T-Rex-sized monster stomping through a zombie wasteland. That is going to be incredible. But honestly, after surviving zombies and giant wyverns, you desperately need a cozy palate cleanser to calm your nerves, right?
Absolutely, and Lost and Found Co. is perfect for that.
It really is. It's this gorgeous hidden object adventure that boasts an incredible 97% overwhelmingly positive rating on Steam, and it's currently 20% off of the summer sale.
It's a fantastic deal right now.
But here's my question for you. Hidden object games usually lose all their replayability the exact second you find everything, right? So if someone 100%ed this game at launch, what is bringing them back today?
That's exactly why they just released their first major content update. They didn't just add a few items, they significantly expanded the game based on player feedback.
Oh, like new levels.
Yeah, they've added 2 brand new, massive, intricately detailed scenes. There's Master of Finjutsu, which is a really clever ninja-themed adventure where disciples search for their missing master.
Finjutsu? I love that.
And then there's My Summer Memories 2, which is this very nostalgic countryside scene. They've also added new shop items and expanded language support, so there's an entirely new layer of density to explore for returning players.
Say no more, I am literally reinstalling it tonight.
It's definitely worth jumping back into.
So, from finding tiny hidden objects on a screen, we are scaling way up to exploring massive ocean ecosystems. Voyagers of Nera is a vibrant co-op survival crafter where you surf the waves with up to 10 friends.
The multiplayer is so smooth.
They just dropped a free update called Explore the Deep, and I had to give a huge enthusiastic shout out to the developer, Treehouse Games, because they also launched a $4.99 charity DLC where the proceeds go to whale and dolphin conservation.
That's a really great initiative.
It is. You get a dolphin surfboard and a plushie in the game, and you actually help real animals in the real world. I absolutely love that.
It's a wonderful use of the platform, and from a gameplay perspective, the Explore the Deep update vastly expands the playable area by introducing true verticality.
Like going underwater.
Yes, you aren't just skimming the surface anymore, you are diving down to find sunken village ruins, discovering lost sanctuaries, and dealing with entirely new depth mechanics and underwater enemies. It fundamentally expands the sandbox.
That sounds beautiful.
Furthermore, they announced a major publishing partnership, confirming the game will officially hit Xbox Series X and S and PlayStation 5 in early 2027.
That is massive news for the console community. Now let's pivot from managing a beautiful ocean village with 10 friends to extreme, solitary micromanagement in a deserted town.
Wild West Supermarket Simulator.
Yes, it just hit its PC 1.0 launch and its console premiere. I love the cozy chore genre. Sweeping digital floors and stocking shelves is oddly therapeutic to me.
It taps into a very specific psychological reward center. It's that feeling of creating order out of chaos.
Totally.
But because it's set in a ghost town during the 1850s gold rush, it adds some fantastic thematic friction to those cozy chores.
Right, because you aren't just scanning modern barcodes with a little beep, you are dealing with outlaws.
Exactly. You are managing dynamic events like tomahawk throwing contests and shooting range challenges just to attract customers to your store.
A tomahawk contest outside my supermarket.
It gets wild. And for players who want a serious management challenge, the 1.0 release includes a realistic prices mode. This tightens your profit margins immensely and demands incredibly sharp business instincts to keep your general store from going bankrupt in this deserted town.
I am definitely going to overcharge for a can of beans, so I just know it. Okay, let's step away from stocking digital storefronts to talk about stocking physical games on a real shelf.
The physical market is still going strong.
It is. Hunt the Night physical boxed editions for the PS5 and Nintendo Switch drop today. This is a retro action RPG, but let's be totally real for a second. There are a million pixel art, dark fantasy games on the market right now.
That's true, it's a crowded genre.
Why does this specific game deserve precious physical shelf space in a collector's room?
What elevates Hunt the Night above the crowd is the sheer depth of its combat systems and its artistic pedigree. You play as Vesper, exploring the ruined world of Medrum. The combat loop isn't just mindless hacking, it's incredibly fast and relies on deep custom builds.
Like skill trees and stuff.
Yes. You can tailor your arsenal specifically for lifesteal, poison, or close combat. And you need those specific builds to survive the brutal, multi-phase boss battles where monsters constantly shift their attack pattern.
So it's not just about reflexes, it's about preparation.
Exactly. You add in the rich lore of the elite Stalker faction and tie it all together with a soundtrack adapted by the legendary Secret of Mana composer, Hiroki Kikuta, and you have an experience that truly justifies a physical release.
Wait, Hiroki Kikuta doing the music?
Yes, the music is incredible.
Say no more. I am completely sold. Give me the physical box. And finally, from a tangible physical game box to a game that barely exists as a game, just living happily in your computer's taskbar.
Neko Station.
Neko Station. It is a desktop idle game dropping July 13th, and I am so excited about this. It just runs in the bottom of your screen while you work, and you collect cats and decorate a little pixel art train. It is the perfect passive dopamine hit.
It is incredibly charming, but it also features a genuinely brilliant community integration. They built in a streaming connection system.
How does that work?
Well, if you are a streamer playing this on Twitch or YouTube, your viewers can interact via comments and physically spawn as cats directly inside your customized train.
Wait, so my live chat can just turn into a pile of cats sleeping on my screen while I work?
Yep, your chat becomes the cats.
That is crowdsourcing your digital pets. It's genius.
It really is. It transforms a solitary desktop idle game into a living, interactive community pet simulator. And really, it leaves us with a fascinating closing thought for today's exploration. The barrier between reality, our operating systems, and our gaming experiences is completely vanishing.
Oh, absolutely. I totally feel that.
Think about the through line of what we've discussed today. From Hex Judge utilizing local LLMs to ensure your game dynamically talks back to you offline without a server, to Neko Station turning your computer's mundane taskbar into a multiplayer community hub driven by live viewer comments.
They're all blending together.
We're no longer just opening an application to play a game in an isolated window. The games are bleeding into how we interact with our computers and each other on a fundamental level. It's a massive paradigm shift in how we define a digital experience.
That is so true. The screen is just a window now, and the games are right here in the room with us. Whether it's an AI judging our morals in real time, or a digital cat walking across my spreadsheet because someone in chat typed a command.
It's a great time to be playing games.
Okay, that wraps up our massive weekend rundown. If you learned something new today, you know what to do. Like, comment, and subscribe for news and more. And one last reminder, if you want the absolute best gear to play all these incredible games, thepinkcontroller.com is a fantastic source for gamer merch. Go check them out and upgrade your setup. Have an amazing week, stay hydrated, keep gaming, and we will catch